Hello and welcome. I am Steve Cully, the best podcast host in the universe. I would like to thank our sponsors at Procyon. Procyon Partners, one of the top 50 fastest growing companies in the nation. They specialize in employee benefits, wealth management, and retirement planning. President Sean Rabinowitz, proud supporter of our podcasts and our podcast network. We love him very much. If you want to grow your portfolio, make money, and get ahead, Procyon is the company for you. They have offices now across the country, especially a new one in Frisco, Texas. You can go to their website. It is procyon.net. All right, and here we are for Rebel Republic. We are the best political talk show in all of Massachusetts, in all of Connecticut, in all of Vermont, Maine, New Hampshire, Delaware, Rhode Island, New York, New Jersey, Nebraska, California, Texas, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Michigan, Illinois, and Indiana.
Huh.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
It is. And
it's like you just picked a bunch of states off the map and just started naming them.
I could never do that.
Yeah.
And with me, as always, he is the voice of reason himself, Frank Cristiano.
That's me, just setting the table. I'm setting the table straight with commentary that makes sense.
Yes, commentary that makes sense. And that is what we do here. We make sense of everything. So there was talk of a potential government shutdown, which was big. It was the Senate Republicans. They opted to strike on bipartisan momentum and, take a key step to prevent a government shutdown almost 2 months before the deadline. And then it came months after arguing, the Democrats again went back to shutting down the government to score political points because they are obviously nervous about December. And the person who was behind most of it is our friend, Chuck Schumer.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing that he would still be in charge of this? And he's like 80 years old. He's been doing this for 40 years. And what he says is gospel.
You got to realize when you've been there that long and you've made so many connections and shaken so many hands and backdoor deals, you're going to have pull. You're still going to have enough of a center base, although it's dwindling because of the extremism of the Democratic Party, the liberal side. But you're still going to have pull, and you're still going to have influence, and you're still going to have money and votes to control. And so normally that's what puts politicians in line, is votes and money. And so that's why he's still there trying to lead the troops.
Well, I mean, we had a government shutdown earlier in the year.
Yeah.
It was like over 2 months.
Right.
So having 2 government shutdowns in the same year, that's got to be something that's very rare or unprecedented.
It could be unprecedented. Yeah, I haven't looked at the numbers yet to dig into that. But the bottom line, there's no more fear in politics.
No.
There's no more fear of the public. It used to be you feared the public because, man, if you really went against the feel and the flow of the public, the voting booth in November, or the voting booth in, for every 4 years for the presidency, and even local voting booths would feel it. And you would see people just dump on people that would do such a thing. Now it's expected.
It's expected.
Resist, rebel, reflect, recuperate, and resist again. That's all it is, basically. And realize you can see it. It's moving from target to target to target, whether it be immigration and ICE. Let's go protest that and burn that apart. or whether it would be the government shutdown or government accuracies, the Epstein files. Let's protest that.
Let's protest that.
Yeah, everyone's up in arms. We haven't finished the Epstein files, and Trump's guilty, and he's been mentioned 40,000 times. 99% of them are paper.
I think Trump was on the grassy knoll.
Listen,
shock Canada.
Maybe they're right. Maybe Trump was.
Maybe they're right.
Maybe Trump went to the island and he's a pedophile. He was assaulting underage girls. I don't know.
I really don't think he would need to. I mean, he's a billionaire.
Well, that's just the thing.
He
When they talked about, oh my God, he had the Miss Teen Universe or whatever, and the pageant, and he walked in on teen girls that were topless. Well, you know what? He walked into the room that he probably owned, because it's probably his hotel where the event was being held. He was probably walking around looking for someone that he pays on his payroll that he owns. And bottom line, a couple of girls are probably running around with their titties hanging out because they're in a changing room. Well, they're in a changing room. So it is what it is.
Well, if I knew the judge, who was running around, I'd probably be topless.
Well, that's it.
I'd want to impress him.
Sure you would. And bottom line, I mean, you got pictures? There's pictures back there. Is anyone taking snapping?
I mean, yeah, there's no proof.
These are the things that this president had, and every president. It's not just him. These are the issues that every president has to go through. Every big time politician has to dodge these bullets every day. But the thing is, it's just accumulating to the point of redundancy and sickness.
It seems like you're really stretching hard to find some news.
New news.
Yeah,
new news. It's always the same old. He did this. He did this. He did this. He's a pedophile. He's a rapist. He's a convicted felon. I love the convicted felon thing. If you have any time to dig into it and actually see what the felonies were all about,
God damn you, Christy!
You would laugh yourself to sleep. Sorry, someone's messaging already.
Christy, I would love to do more UConn podcasts. Go yell at Dave, please. You yell at Dave, and we'll do all the UConn podcasts in the world. And Joe D, yes, he is not going to be smiling anytime soon. And he didn't get fired by UConn. He got demoted to volleyball and hockey. So he wasn't fired. Okay, he's not fired. But I want to do more UConn podcasts. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. I cost too much money and I waste time. That's what I was told. The other thing that was a big topic of discussion on our good friend Bill Keeler's local radio show was Anthony Fauci.
Yeah.
He had a congressional hearing.
Sure.
Now, he was given immunity, and he took the fifth over 110 times.
Sure. When
being grilled and asked and sometimes yelled at and attacked about COVID-19. We thought it was possibly the wrong approach, that it could have been a fact-finding and learning experience. Fauci, I don't understand why he took the fifth, because he was given immunity up until, I believe, 2025 and beyond.
Anything he says at this point can be brought.
Correct. Yes.
Questioning. That's why wouldn't he take the fifth? Take the fifth.
Well, and anyone could take the fifth, but I'm saying that he, at the time, the leader of the CDC,
sure,
we were relying on him,
right?
And we want information, and he has nothing to lose by telling us, okay, in 2020, this is why we did this. This is why we thought
the only information you need is if he or the former President Barack Obama released this virus on purpose.
Barack Obama. It was Biden.
I said the former President Barack Obama, because he was a former president.
But it was 2020.
Doesn't matter. I refer to every president as a former president.
Oh, it was what? How is Barack Obama behind it?
Barack Obama is a funder of the Wuhan lab.
They mentioned
as well as Fauci's a funder.
Right. Okay.
So again, there are the DNC ties to this lab to be able to get your hands on a very powerful strain of virus that would not have a cure, to be able to release into the public and cause a severe distraction, which is, I think that they were, if this happened, that's the only question that needs to be answered. Was this released on purpose by the DNC, the Democratic organizers, Barack Obama, and Dr. Fauci, to hinder Donald Trump's reelection as president in 2020?
Well,
that's the only question that needs to be answered. After that, whether we used masks or we didn't, all that stuff, everything was in panic mode. We didn't know how to handle it. We didn't know how to protect correctly people at the time.
Well, it seemed like they were making it up as they went along.
We didn't, right? Well, because we didn't know. We didn't know that until a little later on that children were basically immune, not totally immune, but young, very young. We didn't know that keeping people in isolation would actually kill them. We didn't understand about ventilators. We were running around buying ventilators like we were buying shirts on TV.
Well, yeah, and you're putting people on ventilators.
And you're putting people on ventilators when they really
need. They can't come off.
They need air. They need the ventilator. And you're preventing families from seeing their loved ones dying. They can't. No final goodbyes. They were storing people in we had no facilities to even store the dead.
No, they were running out of. They were bringing in mobile fridges.
And then you're organizing. And granted, listen, I think Donald Trump did a great thing. Was to expedite the development of a vaccine. But we in turn created this vaccine and didn't offer the public a choice. We just said you got to take it.
Exactly.
Or you're going to lose your job. You're going to be ostracized from where you are. You're going to be eliminated from whatever you do in society. And you're going to be the cause of the spread of this disease, of this virus, for millions and millions of Americans.
And people did believe that.
And some people stuck to their guns and didn't do it, didn't get the vaccine. And I commend them for that, because bottom line, they said the vaccine would protect you. The vaccine is a shield. It was a bubble.
We didn't know. No.
It was a plastic bubble that would protect you. Well, we did know. We did know that wasn't, because we could see the results after so many months of people. They're taking I took one shot. I didn't do anything after that. And the only reason I took a shot was because we were supposed to go on a Disney cruise. So I took a shot. Disney wouldn't let us on the boat without it.
Right.
I took the shot, and within a month later, I'm sicker than a dog. I'm in bed for like a month.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
So we had the results. We had sort of information that was out there, but it kept getting deflected. It got deflected by the media, which was buffering the Fauci and the department there. It was buffering the president and his cabinet. It was buffering anyone that had anything to do with the virus not falling into line like they thought it was going to fall into line. When Joe Rogan goes on and talks about there's also a horse. It's called a horse.
Oh yeah,
what's it called? Why am I?
Not the cycle.
No. Ivermectin.
Yeah,
ivermectin.
Yeah.
So basically, a lot of doctors, and I have video stored here from doctors going on that they've treated their patients with ivermectin and with simple meds, and they came right out of whatever virus they had.
Right.
And people were the media destroyed Joe Rogan and destroyed
for saying
the Trump administration for even mentioning this, because why would you put a horse medication into a human when it's made for humans as well?
Yeah, no, 100%.
It was you have to realize how strong the media is in this country. This media is powerful.
The media is everything.
You don't
think I know that?
Yeah, it is led, and it was led basically.
They control the narrative
by a huge conglomerate of way radical left liberal thinking people.
Well, I just think they didn't like Trump. I don't know.
No, because
you think they're just
radical. There are instances throughout the last 20 or 30 years where the media has shielded information or bended and changed information to be able to fit their narrative.
Right.
So
I agree with that.
So this media basically protected and shielded Fauci on down and the administration on down from any sort of criticism whatsoever. Right?
No, they did.
They tried to embarrass you into taking a shot.
Yeah, they bullied you into.
Rachel Maddow went on and told you,
I know.
Right? Morning Joe Scarborough, the biggest turd that I've ever seen, former Republican, then turns liberal, then turns whack job.
He's a bigger turd than me.
Yeah, I'm going to say
okay,
yes. I'm going to say
All
he
right.
is. I'm going to say he is.
Point for me.
Right. But bottom line, these are people that were on there telling you that you're an idiot and you're a spreader of this deadly disease if you don't take the shot, which they knew. They knew that there was no way that this is unless they were getting bad information from Fauci and the organization CDC. Thank you. Unless they're getting bad information from the CDC and Fauci. And that's what was happening. They were getting bad buffered information from Fauci and the CDC. And maybe that was bent to make Fauci look better. Maybe it was bent to make money for Fauci. Maybe it was bent to not have a civil war in this country because we just injected millions of people with something that's not going to work or actually make them sicker. So
it could have been like injecting them with saline, like the placebo.
It could have been anything. And I'm sure that people were injected with. Don't get me wrong, Moderna and all these other companies, Eli Lilly and Pfizer, they're making billions and billions of dollars by pumping out the vaccine. You know, and you're injecting into people that are compromised, the older community. You're basically giving them a death sentence. They wouldn't let people go outside. They wouldn't let you convene outside on beaches.
Oh, I know.
You couldn't go outside. You're going to get air.
I remember being in Old Forge. People were on boats wearing masks.
You want somebody to. You're putting these people on ventilators because they can't get oxygen breathing. You're telling people don't go outside and breathe oxygen.
Yeah,
and it's insane.
Yeah, it was. But the hearing with Fauci, do you believe, like Bill had said this, had we not gone after him and been vicious with attacks, and it had been more of a let's learn from this?
No, you would have got nothing out of it.
You still think he would have taken?
You would have got nothing out of it. Yep. Unless you would have stroked Fauci. Oh, Dr. Fauci, it's incredible what you did and all that, but how did you end up with millions of dollars in your account from these organizations dumping you cash all the time?
He did end up with millions.
He
got a fortune.
He used not so much money. He used his workers in the department and throughout the CDC to go and fill out and request information on grants that were out there in the U.S. for creation of this vaccine or prevention of this thing. And they filled out 15 or 16 grants.
Oh, he had people do it. His own people.
Well, you can't do that. That's illegal.
Yeah, I would say
that's part of what the charges that they're looking to bring him up on is the use of the employees themselves, federal employees.
Well, yeah, that was the other thing. They were going to try to bring him up on contempt charges.
Yeah.
I know Ted Cruz and a couple other.
It's a waste of time. You're
going
to see this. Like this is going to get dumped too. It's not going to be worth their while to bring him up. It was a great grandstand show. Josh Hawley looked fantastic. It was a great 10 minutes. It was fantastic. He ran into him. He put up all the numbers there, what Fauci made. He put up all the emails of how Fauci was exploding over himself and as to how excited he was that he was the number one. He was bigger than Trump. Trump was actually bowing down to him and asking for advice on that. He couldn't believe it. So bottom line, it was an ego trip. It was a money trip for Fauci. Along the way, he put out some information that he didn't even know would work or not. There was nothing tested. There's nothing verified. We were throwing darts at a wall, hoping something would hit right. That's all.
No, we were. And they were. There's also reports that the Wuhan lab, it was an accidental leak from the lab,
right?
That the virus got out.
Sure, it did. Accidental.
Oops. We're just gonna, unleash this biological weapon on the world.
That's
that's absurd. Correct?
No, it's not.
It's not.
No. Listen, I believe two things.
You think it's not accidental?
I don't think it was accidental.
Okay,
I think it was done on purpose.
That's what I. Yeah,
right.
That's right.
There are two things that I believe because of the hatred towards Donald Trump, and that's because that with Donald Trump in office, the Democratic Party could not put out their plan and the time frame got pushed back 20 years because he in there messed it all up of how they wanted to organize this change in political and mental process in this country.
Right.
So I believe that was released to cause chaos. I don't think they realized how bad it was going to cause chaos, and all of a sudden it got out of control. And then number two, I'm not a January 6th rioter in the White House or in Capitol Hill. But I believe without a doubt that election had it was hugely compromised by mail-in voting, harvesting,
Yeah, the ballot harvesting.
late night sneak-ins. I mean, you can't be up
2 a.m.
until 2 or 3 a.m. and all of a sudden you lose by 100,000
that's when you go to work. Yeah,
and not one vote goes to the Republican side.
no.
So those are my two theories. I'm sticking by those theories. People can spit at me. I don't care. There's no way I'm deviating from that thought process.
No, I wholeheartedly agree. Switching gears, this was also a big topic. And it's you're gonna love this because it involves your favorite league, the WNBA.
Oh, great!
The WNBA All-Star Weekend was fantastic.
Yeah.
Until someone decided to interview Indiana Fever guard Sophie Cunningham.
Yeah.
And she was asked her opinion on trans athletes competing in sports, women's sports in particular. And she was pretty much against trans athletes playing in the WNBA or women's college basketball.
Sure.
Saying it,
High school, anyway.
It's an unfair advantage.
Correct.
Sophie got absolutely crucified for those comments.
Yeah.
There were a lot of op-ed pieces written about her. And, she basically said young girls in a locker room should not have to be around somebody of the opposite sex who, still has the thing, the penis.
Well, I don't know if she stated it that way. I do know that the media.
Well, she worried about them being in the locker.
Of course. But the media also twisted that and said that Sophie Cunningham hates transgenders.
Yes, which they did.
Not true.
Which is not true. Correct.
Again, it's the media putting the twist on it to portray someone as evil that does not fit with their master plan. The master plan is to be compassionate, to be all-inclusive, to be able to pull in everyone into this big kumbaya nirvana. That's not how life works. Life has to work somehow in fairness. So in combat sports, in let's say boxing, wrestling, mixed martial arts, there are weight divisions, and you must fit into a weight division, correct, to fight against each other. You're not going to pit a 250-pound guy against a 130-pound guy. So you have to approach it in that way right there. There's got to be divisions. There has to be females with females, and then what the transgenders have to do is create their own league. Create your own sport.
I agree.
Whatever it is, because even with hormone replacement therapy, bone density, bone mass, muscle strength, size, physical size, it all has an advantage to a man who transitioned to a woman but still kept all his bodily parts and just identifies as a woman. You can't. Again, this is my feeling again, and it surprises me because it's a women's league and they're not protecting women; they're protecting everyone, which you can't do.
No,
that.
you can't.
You're a women's basketball league. You should protect the players in there that they're women. And you know that it is a league-wide, upper management, upper echelon thought process like this from owners and from commissioner, because you're seeing all these coaches now wearing these trans girls belong in sports.
Everyone loves,
More than one coach has worn that now, not just the coach the other night, but they're wearing it. Why are they wearing it? They're going to get fired if they have any other opinion. They're going to lose their job.
You think they would lose their job if they came out in support of her?
You're telling me that the co-owner of the Seattle team, who basically told those people to get the hell out of her stadium because they're crazy, because they're wearing a pro women's shirt, a pro Sophie shirt, which just says XXXY chromosomes. You're telling me that owner is not going to put pressure or get rid of a coach that doesn't fall into her thought process?
Well, I'm just saying that they polled Americans, and 79% of Americans agreed with Sophie Cunningham.
Polls don't matter.
They don't?
Polls do not matter. No,
well, that's how elections are done.
I understand that, but this is a very segregated election process. It is a women's professional basketball league. Okay. So number one, men's thoughts and men's votes and men's have no rhyme or reason in there. They don't care. Women do not care.
Well, remember last year at the All-Star game,
Yeah.
they wore the shirts, pay us what we're worth.
Right.
It was, similar to that with Cunningham, except the coaches were doing it.
No, that's not that's a totally different. You're not, because then you're just challenging a pay scale. You're not challenging a genetic
an issue,
right?
A social issue,
right? And the thing is, if that's the case, you want to let transgender in. Then you know what? Why have a women's professional basketball league? Don't have a men's professional basketball league.
Just have co-ed league.
Have everybody play.
Have everybody
play. Do you know? You know who the fastest woman in the world was or is? Her record still stands in the 100.
The one with the three names, Jackie Joyner,
Kirsty. No, it was what's the
Marion Jones?
No, the more recent woman. I thought. What's her name?
I don't know. Oh, the one that they thought was a man?
No. She just won. She's an Olympic. She's an Olympic medalist and all that. But the fastest female for a 100-yard dash is like 12.4, 12.5, somewhere in there.
Right.
Or 10.49.
Wow.
Is the fastest one. That's the fastest woman in the world.
Yeah.
Adult woman.
Yeah.
Do you know how many men have beaten that?
They're high school kids.
High school kids. Hundreds of high school kids run that.
Yes.
So how can you say that there is no difference physically and no advantage physically with a male coming in to play in a female?
I think it would depend, obviously, if, I thought it was barbaric, but in Massachusetts, they were doing gender reassignment surgeries for kids 7 years old and above.
Right.
If you have it at a younger age, I believe, wouldn't that slow down your growth and not make you grow into a male?
I'm not a doctor. I can't answer that, but I would assume that bone density would not drop that fast.
Muscle mass and puberty,
everything, and because
you're still taking hormones.
You're taking hormones. You're taking female,
but you're still getting the testosterone.
That's the only question I have. But not a ton of people, and there's not a ton of athletes. Number one, transgender wise, but number two, there's not a ton of kids that are transitioning that early in life.
No.
And most of the ones that
outrageous.
Most of the ones that identify as female are male gender.
Yes.
With the penis.
Yes.
So they still have the weaponry, and but they're just identifying because there's a mental. That is a mental.
Well, there's a defect.
And it is what it is. I don't care. I could care less. I don't. See, the thing is, they want to be recognized and all that. Why do you got to be recognized? I don't walk around, saying,
I want to be
I'm
recognized.
heterosexual. Here I am. Right. So, but to want to say that, to think that you're one thing, and try to meld into something else.
In reality,
you can't do that. I'm not a toaster. I could think I'm a toaster.
Or like a furry.
I'm not that. I'm just not that.
Or non-binary.
Right. But to put yourself and put others into question as to how you conduct yourself and how you're going to assimilate with a whole group that you really have nothing in common. Your mental, again, your mind process may have something in common with it. Okay. But bottom line, your physical stature,
physicality,
and you're playing a physical sport.
Correct.
We're not all. Listen, this isn't like 5 women and 1 gay guy sitting around at the table and they're all talking about clothing.
No,
this is athletes on a court.
They get paid.
Or on a field, or wherever. Even in a high school level, they're not making anything. But these are athletes that are on the court. They're trying to compete for scholarships. They're trying to compete for championships. They're trying to compete to make the team. And now they're going to have to face the adversity of they have to go against someone who stepping onto the court, just stepping on, has a huge advantage.
So the other thing that was surprising was like Jamel Hill, Katie Nolan, Sarah Spain, and Howard Bryant came out and wrote harsh articles against Sophie Cunningham.
What's that surprising?
Well, Jamel Hill, I wouldn't have expected. Because she's normally very leftish.
She's combative. You would expect that if she's leftish. Anyone who's left field is going to defend this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought she would defend it. She did not. She came hard against Sophie Cunningham.
No, that's what I'm saying. If you're coming hard against Sophie Cunningham, you're defending allowing transgenders into the sport.
Oh, okay, that's right. You
know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought because Jamel Hill has always been for women, I thought
No, she hasn't been for women.
She hasn't.
No. No. Jamel Hill is for Jamel Hill.
Yeah, I mean she's been on a lot of different documentaries.
Yeah,
she's very knowledgeable.
Spewing nonsense. She's knowledgeable. She's spewing nonsense.
You think she's spewing nonsense?
I think that there's a certain segment of the media, sports media population that understand that if you're not controversial, then you are non-existent.
But don't you also think, like, in my opinion,
yeah,
my father can't stand Pat McAfee.
Sure,
hates him.
Right.
I know that he has a podcast.
Yeah,
he's on College Game Day.
Yep.
He's been in WWE.
Correct.
He is playing a character, in my opinion, to appease an audience, to build an audience.
No, I don't think
for entertainment.
I don't think
that's the real.
I think he's definitely entertaining, and I don't think it's a character. I think it's just him.
You really don't think like College Game Day? He is screaming. He is over the top.
But that's it. That's just his expression style. When have you seen him calm?
That's what I'm saying.
But that's his style, right? So if you haven't seen the guy in any situation whatsoever be calm, that's his style. He screams. That's like saying Dick Vitale. I've never seen. When does Dick Vitale not scream? He doesn't.
Well,
that's how
he's off the air in life.
Yeah, but anybody's off the air. They do that. You think Dick Vitale goes into the donut shop like, "Hey, give me 3 chocolate donuts and a coffee, baby"? Right? Did I make my point there?
Okay, that made your point.
Right.
But Howard Bryant went hard, and he basically said that he compared her politically to Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah,
taking a knee.
Yeah,
for her comments, and said that she needed the culture war to get on the map.
She didn't need that. She was already on the map because she came in and defended Caitlin Clark
with the point.
No, even before that, the year before,
right?
The season before she came in and dumped a couple girls because they'd gotten to Caitlin Clark's face because she did, and you can't tell me.
And they called her transphobic.
You can't, right? Of course. Listen,
what's transphobia?
You have a fear of
so it's like
homophobia. You have a fear of trans people. Or you have a hatred of trans people.
Okay.
Listen, look, I've learned one thing from any liberal playbook is
because you read it all.
Yes, as soon as the argument is not yes, I agree, and you disagree with them,
they go to racist or misogynist,
transphobic, racist, Nazi, Hitler.
Yes, that's
slave owner. They pull anything they can pull.
It becomes personal
to them.
Yes,
not to us, not to anybody that's sane. They're not.
But that's the thing with politics now.
Exactly.
There's no agree to disagree.
But remember, I said the liberal playbook.
Yeah.
So
that's how
liberal politics, liberal workforce, liberal athletic field. It's your mindset. And again, I would like to thank all the higher education institutions around this country for poisoning our kids to think that we are against higher education and being able to question. We're never against being able to question.
Why they've said that we're against higher education?
Yes. Oh, of course. And listen, why? Because as soon as you talk to a liberal and it doesn't fall into the right category, but
all the liberals are in higher education.
Steve, you're not following me today.
I'm not.
Right.
No, I'm confused.
Liberals think that conservatives are against higher education.
Oh, okay.
Liberals think that they are much more educated because they put in 12 years of school.
Absolutely.
Right. And milked off of their parents' dime or created hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt to learn dog shit. Dog shit. Basically,
so you get a PhD and stuff.
Half of the diplomas that are out there are dog shit.
Okay. So I could go get a PhD and that would not impress you.
It would not impress me one bit. Not impress me one bit. No.
Okay. So you're saying
I have to go and talk to some teachers, and they're telling me, when you go in, call him doctor. That's Dr. Smith.
Yes, they are. They're
Dr. Smith. You gonna cure my fucking hernia today? Oh no, I'm a doctor of education. I've gotten my.
So you disagree that if you get your PhD
Garbage.
in education or whatever,
Garbage. You may know a few more steps in the educational world, but a lot of that stuff doesn't translate to real life situations.
Don't you have an MBA? You have your no.
I have a
You have a
BS.
master's?
I have a, no.
Oh, I thought you had a master's.
No, I did my 5 years in a 4-year college, like everyone does, and I got my BS. I majored in history.
Did you ever consider
physics?
getting an MBA?
No. For what reason?
Well, I mean, you run a business.
I lived in business. I could teach the fucking professor more than they're gonna tell me. They're gonna tell me. Okay. It'll be like that movie Easy Money with Rodney Dangerfield. I'm gonna tell the guy how many fucking widgets he's got to put in.
Okay, so you're saying that they look down because they are more educated.
They're more educated. So as soon as they do that, they start to, well, you're talking like, where do you live in? Florida, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Mississippi, yeah. Alabama. You must be from Alabama.
Yeah,
that's where they sleep with their. And meanwhile, if you're liberal, they're painting their fingernails and coloring the hair, and they're probably knee deep into cousins.
Old General Zahn.
Absolutely. So bottom line, that's the playbook. That's the arrogance of the left. And that's where people get pissed off, because realistically, we should all be able to have a rational conversation.
Yeah, I agree.
Like yesterday, they showed the video of the coach talking to Sophie Cunningham. I forget what the
Stephanie
what team. Who does she coach?
The
Minnesota Lynx.
Fever.
No.
Oh, Cheryl Reeve.
Yeah. No, it's not her.
Cheryl Reeve coaches the Lynx.
Yeah, but was that who they played yesterday? And
they
were on the court talking.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
So one of the coaches wore the shirt. Trans people belong.
Oh, and they talked. And
she grabbed Sophie, and her and the coach talked, and it was an amicable, maybe 1 minute, 2 minute conversation, and they went their ways. They patted each other in the back, and they went their ways. That makes sense,
right?
That's a voice of reason moment. To set a car.
Oh, it was Cheryl Reeve. It wasn't.
Okay. To set a car on fire.
Wow.
Or to.
She did ran trans kids belong.
Right. Yeah, she wore the shirt, and you'll see every other coach in the league wear those. It's something.
But you think it'll only be the coaches?
It'll only be the coaches. Right. So maybe it could be some of the players too. Some of the players will come out. You'll see the coaches wear it, because if the coaches don't, they'll get fired.
Right.
If the coaches don't give the appropriate answer,
they're not going to get
in the press. They're going to get fired. If they don't give the appropriate answer, they will be let go. They will. You'll see.
Well, they did have a good conversation.
Yeah, they did. So that's good.
They did. They said that there are things they have in common, and there are things that they differ on, just like any other issue.
And Sophie said that don't listen to the media, because they're twisting my words. I don't hate trans people. There's no hate for him. I'm just saying, in my situation, she feels more comfortable if it was a divided area where a transgender is not allowed in a locker room or on a court where there's competition with women, because it's an unfair advantage. And like you said, the poll says so many people support. So of course they do, but the ones that are on the court do not.
Right.
Okay. They do not, because it's predominantly lesbian league.
Okay.
You can't disagree with that.
I can't speak.
And that's okay. I don't care about that either. Actually, that's fantastic.
Right.
But my thing is, it's a predominantly that's the feeling of the league. The owners are probably the same way. Okay. And they believe they're part of that community, and they need to defend that community, because they always feel like they're being attacked or being excluded. So now, if you take the most extreme part of that community, which is the transgenders, that's not extreme because they're people that you want to hate. They are just extreme in their belief and in their look.
No, I agree with that.
So what they do is they put that whole community on edge. So for the community to not fold, they have to agree and back that transgender person.
So you were right about the Seattle thing. There was a protest when they played Seattle, but it was a few dozen people.
Yeah, well, they get booed in the stands,
and they suspended the goat, the owner.
But that's because she's part owner. The owner went after 2 teenage kids.
No, I know.
You know what I mean? You can't do that.
I'm reading it now. I can't believe that.
Right.
I can't believe
that
the
means
owner got that heated.
that means if somebody wore a pro trans shirt, I would go attack them, right?
Right. Yeah.
No one would.
No.
No one would. You wear a pro trans shirt? Okay, cool. Whatever it is. Hey,
I'm
listen,
gonna try that one day.
you should.
I'm gonna wear a pro trans.
Oh my God, you should.
Can we get one in
Trans podcasters belong.
Yeah,
that's what you should get.
No, I will. I'll wear one. I want to see if anyone says
Make one
something.
up. Trans podcasters are here to stay
because it says that every player in the WNBA believes in what Sophie Cunningham said, but they won't come out and say it.
No, they don't.
And they won't.
No,
I mean, the
Paige Buchers.
Paige does.
Paige does not believe what Sophie Cunningham says.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well,
Okay.
Because she's a lesbian.
So what does that have to do with it? Being a lesbian makes it you believe in transgenders?
You weren't listening to me. See, again, you were on your phone. You weren't listening to it. I just made this whole diatribe here.
No, I was listening. You said because the league's mostly lesbian.
Yeah, and they're all part of the LGBTQ community.
And there's two other levels.
Whatever it is, plus whatever. You can't boot a section of them out, so they got to support.
So they got to support each other.
And if most of the league is,
if
most of the league is gay, which I'm going to say 70% of the league is gay.
Right.
If most of the league is gay, they have to support that member of that entire community, or else that entire community crumbles. Because now they're selecting within the community who they're going to protect and who they're not.
So you're saying that the majority of the league does not support Sophie Cunningham?
Correct.
Wow.
Correct.
Okay.
Majority of ownership, majority of higher up in administration, the president, whatever.
And you think if it were allowed, that WNBA franchises would take or draft trans players?
Well, you're not gonna. How do you know who's trans or not unless you're doing a check?
What they do for the Olympics?
I mean, well, unless they come up. Well, they're starting to now.
Yeah,
they're going to start to do that. But how do you know who's trans and who's not? Now again,
that's true.
But most likely, coming out of college, people know who's trans or who's not. Look at the volleyball player from San Jose State there.
Yeah,
everyone knew she was trans. They didn't want to play. The other teams boycotted.
They did. They said
right. So how do you know who's trans or not? I don't know. Would they draft a trans? Yeah, I think they would.
You really do.
They wouldn't exclude it.
Okay.
It wouldn't be like the NFL. Okay. With Michael Sam. There, Michael Sam.
Oh yeah, that was bad.
Michael Sam, and granted, right. He dropped.
He was the SEC player of the year.
SEC Defensive Player of the Year, right? Led the league in sacks.
Yep. He beat out Jadeveon Clowney.
Right. Pass rushers were at a premium, right? Everyone wants an edge guy. And all of a sudden, a picture comes out with him and his husband.
Well, I thought he came out.
He did. He came out senior year.
Yeah.
So they knew going into the draft what they were getting.
Right.
And what did the NFL do?
I mean,
6th round out of a courtesy.
And he got cut.
You know they compensated the Rams.
But you got to understand.
Yeah.
He then goes to the CFL.
Yeah.
And he's
a bust.
He's a bust.
Right.
So I don't know that it has.
No.
You're telling me if he were hetero, he would have been drafted high.
Yes.
And he possibly could have made the team.
No.
Okay.
I'm saying he would have been an NFL bust, like a lot of guys are NFL busts. But what I'm saying is his draft position told you everything.
Because of that.
Right. That would be like you could see it again in the NFL with how they treated Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders dropped to the 6th round, wasn't it? Fifth round, sixth, whatever it is. He dropped, and he dropped because people viewed him as a problem.
Yeah.
They viewed him as a locker room problem. They viewed him as bringing in their dad, to sit in the locker room and talking like,
and they did
give me my music.
And they did bring his dad in.
Right.
Todd Monken brought his dad in.
Right.
To talk with him.
Right. But the thing is, what I'm saying is that the WNBA would not handle it like that.
Oh, okay.
If the player is trans and scored 650 points a game, she whatever it is would be drafted number 1 by whatever WNBA team,
and they'd be lauded. Okay.
They'd be lauded.
All right, so we'll switch gears now. And
what did Dave Chappelle say? Didn't Dave Chappelle say this argument? He said, like, should
I just
females
watched
stay
Joanna
at
Man.
females or no? Or Chappelle goes, or should LeBron James go to the WNBA and score 850 points a game?
Yeah,
right?
Because he identifies. Yeah.
Right.
So the Iran war.
Yeah.
It's
getting
really
old. It's getting old.
Well, it's been getting old for
8
weeks. President Trump said today that this is their last chance.
Yes.
Which he has said
6 times.
I think about every other week.
Yeah.
And he actually used the word, which I was shocked, decapitation.
Yes.
So we're going to decapitate them.
Love it. Because that's what they do to infidels.
Yeah, off with their heads.
Off with their heads. The great choice of words.
They're gonna just again bomb the hell out of them.
Yeah.
And he's hoping that they come to their senses.
Sure. And they're gonna wake up overnight.
But we have bombed the hell out of them.
Yeah.
Cargo ships have been attacked.
Yes.
Other countries in the Middle East have been attacked.
Yes.
And Iran doesn't seem to want to back down. They're like I said this, they're going out on their shield.
Right.
That's the only way they're going out.
I agree. Because they know the U.S. has no taste for war. We have no more taste for any kind of Middle Eastern wars. We've had enough.
So, but Trump's in too deep. There's no way he can get out of this. He can't just pull out and say, "Okay,
doesn't have to
Netanyahu, we're done."
He doesn't have to get out.
He doesn't?
No, he doesn't have to get out.
Well, what does he do?
It's a combination of, let's say, 3 things. And I put this out here before.
What, this Strait of Hormuz thing?
Yeah. So number one, you take Kharg Island.
Okay.
You go in there and take that. That's easy. That's not a problem. And you cut off their oil distribution, their oil storage, everything. You take the island and you've cut off whatever money
that they can
get. They're not getting any money in there right now, anyways. You close off airspace to Iran.
You can do that.
Why not? It's a war.
So, what do you shoot down the ships? The planes that come in?
Any plane, because we're worried that China may be bringing in new weaponry to that.
Oh, right.
Russia may be bringing it. You just shut down the airspace around Iran. That's it. Make an announcement. Tell every airline to do not go in any airspace. Anybody in the airspace, we're going to blast you out of the sky. Number three, you provide transportation for all cargo ships, all oil carrying ships.
Any ship to get through the strait. Yes.
You have the U.S. Navy escorts them in and out of the strait. And after that, you arm the citizens of Iran.
But again, we've said that. Do you think now, after all this time, that the citizens of Iran would fight back against?
Yes, because right now the economic situations in the country of Iran are so bad. People can't survive.
They can't.
So they have no choice. You're almost squeezing them into having no choice. And so arm them, support them. Mossad is ready to do that. I mean, Israel is the one that started all this, anyways.
Yes.
I believe it. I believe they goaded Trump. Hey, help us out.
I know they did.
We can get rid of Iran once and for all. So, okay, no problem. And this could be Trump's worst move ever. This could be
it could be the move that buries him.
Right. But you know what? It is what it is. You have to work day by day now. But I think those 4 moves, I would say, those 4 moves, and what's $1 billion a day, whatever, who cares? Keep the ships going and through until you cut the head of the snake off. The only way to do that is not with military intervention, but with economic intervention. You got to cut money off to Iran totally.
I was asked this right now, after everything we've been through, what would be considered success for the United States and Trump in this Iran war / conflict?
Well, the Iranian
if Iran just surrenders,
the Iranian Guard and their political machine to be eliminated.
Eliminated or surrender?
Well, so if they surrender, you're going to put them in jail. They're going to be eliminated.
Oh, we put them in jail.
Well, what are we going to do? Why wouldn't we? We're going to leave the military. What are they going to say? We surrender, and then all of a sudden they're still there? No. You're going to have to rid them of their.
They go to Guantanamo
of the current political structure and the current military leaders.
Okay.
Everybody, but you're going to get rid of that leader force. And then
how do you change political regimes? That's my concern.
Yeah, well, again, you said they surrender.
Okay,
If they surrender, then you go in and you physically remove
Yeah.
The leaders that have caused roadblocks in
Agreed.
any kind of agreement between the U.S. and Iran, as far as a ceasefire or as far as concessions on nuclear weapons and all this stuff. And then you put in your own regime. You have to, and then eventually the people will vote on a regime, and they'll be able to have free elections.
So you're saying that the people who surrender and negotiate, you know, we're done. We arrest them and put them in jail.
Yeah.
Then why the hell would they, you know, if they know they're going to jail?
That's just it.
Why
That's
would
why
you surrender?
they're not going to. That's what we talked
Okay.
about. So that's
Yeah.
why you're not going to see any kind. If they do, and they come out with a, and you said what would be to Trump's best advantage? What would be to Trump's worst advantage is they get a peace deal, and basically
They break it.
nothing. Well, there's nothing there to the peace deal. I mean, you got to be
the
able
nuclear
to.
sites would have to be shut.
You got centrifuges, all uranium. Everything has to be, and then you have to have inspections to make sure that they're not redoing it again. So there's
a lot that
you
would go into
got a lot of levers have to be opened up and left open to be able to inspect and to control. So I don't think that's going to happen, but I do know one thing: if you cut the money off,
I agree with that.
then you've done two things. One, they can't pay their own military guys. Nobody's hanging around with them some kind of compensation. And number two, you're going to spark the citizens to say enough is enough. There's no money. There's no food. There's nothing left for us here. I'm better off just going out and trying to kill them or die because I got nothing left. And that's what's happening right now to the civilian population in Iran.
Yeah,
and
I 100%.
It's said that there was an earlier opportunity when 40,000 were killed, when millions took the streets in Tehran and other cities in Iran and looking for regime change. That was the opportunity that this government, Israel, whoever the hell wanted to jump in and fund, could have happened, and they didn't.
So the other question I had was, if this conflict is settled, gas prices go down, will that curtail to some extent inflation?
Well, yeah, absolutely. If you think about it,
because gas makes everything go round, basically.
All your transportation costs drop, all your food deliveries drop, all your consumer goods drop, everything across the board drops because oil is such a big part of what we do. So yeah, inflation. That's my thing is, how does it affect the election at the midterms?
Well, that's
which I don't
the
even
other
care
thing.
anymore. Honestly,
it's got to get settled.
I take that back. I don't even give a shit about the midterm elections.
That's not true. You do.
No, I don't, because you know what? It doesn't matter. The Republicans control the Senate. They control the House of Representatives. They control the presidency. They still haven't got shit done.
No, they haven't.
They got the big, beautiful bill. Great.
It was big and beautiful.
Yeah, that's great. Bunch of different tax outcomes and all that. Tips for great. That's great. No tax. Great. Okay, I saw all that. Immigration control, fantastic.
We did great on that. And crime's down, like you said.
Crime is down. We talked about it's fantastic. It's good. You know what's not down is healthcare costs.
Oh, healthcare is a major issue.
Food costs,
Medicaid, and
housing costs.
Yeah,
insurance costs across the board for business insurance, workers' compensation, disability.
It's awful.
No, none of that stuff is down. Those are the things that needed to be worked out.
So how do those come down?
Medical costs, medical coverage. See, and that's where I'm not a socialist, but I'm all for
coverage. Universal health care.
I'm all for coverage for everyone.
Yes.
Okay. And it's a simple thing. You've got to curtail and handcuff the insurance companies.
The health insurance companies?
Health insurance companies.
Right.
They're the ones
they charge
and also just regular insurance companies in general that provide.
Yes.
They're making tons and tons of money off of this. You can't, a CAT scan can't cost you $9,000.
Right,
but it does.
And you have to wait
cost me $9,000. I got it right away that night in the hospital.
Right.
It cost me $9,000. Didn't cost me $9,000 because I pay $2,200 a month for family coverage.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Okay.
You have
so my medical company paid for 99% of that CAT scan.
Exactly.
I'm happier than a pig in shit.
Yeah.
But bottom line,
there's not a lot of people.
Somebody else is paying for that.
Yeah.
There are other people that are getting billed that are paying for that.
Well,
right?
100%.
Right. So I just there's ways to make it work. There's money out there. It's probably an easier solution than we think of. It'll take changing doctors' compensations. It'll take changing hospitals' compensations. Will the care get worse? It could possibly get a little bit worse. Wait times could be longer. Doctors could be
The wait times are longer,
right.
and doctors do work more hours.
But doctors could be found in less hospital because nobody's going to want to go in the medical field anymore to spend. They got to spend $600,000-$700,000 to go to the medical field to get their education. Yeah. Then once they get out, they have to pay liability insurance that's incredibly high, right? And they're not going to do it for $200,000 a year.
No.
So that's why they're looking to make $1 million a year, $750,000 a year, $800,000. They've got their stuff that they have to pay too. So how does it all work? There's got to be a blueprint because a lot of countries are doing it.
Well, and they have said healthcare is probably right now, healthcare costs remain the number one concern for voters.
Right. That and inflation.
On
they're 1 and 1
conservative side.
They're 1 and 1. No, it's not everybody's side. But think of it this way. Think of if the way the Trump administration pushed for immigration control.
Well, if the way they're healthcare,
if they did that with healthcare and we would have a plan on it, he would be anointed as the greatest president ever, even with all his fuck-ups.
Yeah, no, he would.
You know what I mean? He would get anointed because Obama tried it with Obama.
He did, yes,
right,
and it bombed.
The problem was that when they put it in there, they didn't write it in there for life. They wrote it in there for like an 8-year period or 10-year period.
Correct.
As far as all that was is tax money just going to pay and offset,
and they just gave you minimum coverage.
Right, you get minimum coverage. So you still have to pay stuff.
Yes,
and a lot of people couldn't keep plans that they wanted. They had to be moved to a different plan, which wasn't as advantageous for them.
No,
so
because they couldn't.
The way it was set up, Obama set it up. See, Obama was the guy that actually did something. He did it. We're going to do it. And people that didn't
tried.
People who didn't have coverage got coverage. But how did that affect the entire population across the board?
And ended up
right. So, but he tried, and that's why again.
So you think
people loved Obama because of that?
People do love Obama.
He was very well spoken. Very diplomatic.
He's handsome too.
Whatever.
He's a very handsome man.
That doesn't matter to me. But bottom line is, the way Trump speaks to you like you're a 3-year-old.
He does.
Right.
He does. He tells you what to do.
That's what pisses people off.
It does.
So, but if Trump would come out right now and go, hey, you know what? We got all this stuff going on right now, but just like they appointed this committee with Vance, and he's looking for fraud. So fraud.
I saw that.
And so far, they found like $220 billion in fraud in 5 states.
It's unbelievable.
Right. And then they're going to go through every state. They're going to go through every state. So, okay. So give me a commission on making healthcare right. Why not put the speed to that? What's it going to hurt?
And that is something that would obviously be advantageous and help the midterm elections.
That would be a winner.
The other question was tariffs.
Yeah.
The debate on tariffs.
Yeah.
Should we be going harder with the tariffs, or should we pivot and kind of pull back from the tariffs, in your opinion?
My thing is this. I know the tariff really is a tax on the American people.
That's what ends up. We end up just paying more for what we want.
Well, but the thing is this. If there is a different option to be able to buy. So let's say the tariff is on a Chinese item, right?
Yeah,
100% tariff. All of a sudden, I'm paying double. If there's a similar item being produced here in the United States and it's cheaper, I just buy that one.
Right.
So the tariff doesn't affect me.
Right. Okay.
That makes sense. But my thing is, I would increase the tariffs. I would increase across the board tariffs.
So that would discourage Americans from buying?
Well, it would, but they're still going to buy. Still going to buy that Temu shirt, but it's going to cost them more. But bottom line, all these tariffs can be put towards healthcare. So now there is your tax money being put to good use.
That's how you do it.
Exactly.
Okay. That makes sense. The other thing I wanted to ask, this Todd Blanche guy, he's the attorney general, whatever.
Yeah.
His nomination is back after he rescinded parts of an IRS related deal. What are your thoughts on Todd Blanche? I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know enough about him. I know that Trump most likely wouldn't appoint someone that is not a banker or at least a believer in the ideas of the administration. So I forget what Blanche did or where he served someone before. I can't remember. I'm not jogging my memory. And you can tell that we don't pre-script this show. So it's not. If not, I'd be like every other podcaster. Todd Blanche, here it is, right here.
Well,
He's the head of this or this work for this guy.
No, you don't want a pre-script. I like natural reaction.
I do too, exactly, because then at least it shows how much we do know or don't know. Right.
Well, yeah, and I don't know.
And right. And
I just knew it came up in the news.
I just know that it was a sticking point, and because it's going to be a sticking point across the board, just because every politician is looking to get their angle through. So they're just going to. But he is being confirmed right now. I know that they got the 2 Republican senator votes that was holding up the nomination, I think.
Right.
So, and what does that mean? The president and his staff took those 2 senators in a room and told them, get your shit together. You're not going to be here anyways, because they're both lame ducks.
Exactly.
The 2 senators, your 2 Republican senators. So, bottom line, they get their guy in, and what's he going to do? I don't know. It's these things are beyond all of us, because we have no inside information. We're not hearing the backdoor policies. We don't know who is funding who. We don't know what PAC is sending money to what politician. We don't know what lobbyist is there twisting the arm of a politician to vote a certain way.
Correct.
All these things everything is a backdoor deal. What I would do is this: whenever a politician comes out and says A, I would believe B, and then most likely you're on the right path.
So, like George Costanza, he would always do the opposite of.
Yeah, I would honestly. When a politician speaks, right? When AOC says, "I'm here for the people," she's great, yeah. I would take that and throw it right out the fucking.
What, and Mamdani too?
Mamdani, but anybody, even when Josh Hawley comes in and he's spewing all this stuff. Okay, listen, he did a great job and all that, but I think you're probably not. There's no. They're all in it, man.
They are. They are.
You know what it is? It's like, how can I say this? It's like the Bronx Zoo back in 1977, 78. The Yankees. Remember the Yankees?
Of course.
77,
Reggie
78. Jackson, Billy Martin, right? The Thurman Munson, Greg Nettles, Ron Guidry. So bottom line,
they were called the Bronx Zoo.
It was the Bronx Zoo because it was in a locker room and out in the streets. It was an absolute zoo.
Yeah, the Bronx was burning.
Well, not that the Bronx was burning. These players were all over the map.
They were?
Yes. Who's swapping wives?
Really?
Yeah. Who's using drugs? Who's out there? Who is black and think that the manager's against it?
So they were all a mess.
Who got fights? They were all over the place. That team
and
that team went to a World Series, right? So the thing is, that's what politics is. That's what Capitol Hill is. Yeah, they're all one team.
Yeah, but they're all infighting.
But they're all scattered and all over the place because they're all out for their own personal interests.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Every player is looking for a bigger contract. Yeah. Every player is looking for job security. They're looking for more playing time, more at bats, more nominations for all-star games. That's right? True. Every player is looking for their own interests.
Yeah.
They're all part of the big solution.
Right.
But they're all out for themselves. That's what the Capitol Hill is. That's all it is.
And do you think there's going to be any changes with Lindsey Graham and his seat now open?
No, I mean, his sister's holding the seat until the election.
Okay.
And then I think his sister may run. And
wow.
Really? She may get the sympathy vote. I know that there's others that will run. I think it will be a conservative. It won't be a Democrat coming and flipping that seat now. That's not going to happen.
Because my Uncle Jim was driving me last week when I was going
sure.
to stuff. He said that when politicians get into office, they come in, ready to hit the ground running and make a difference and piss and vinegar. Yeah. And then they get there and they realize, I can't do shit.
Can't do it. All your vote is.
He said, I can't do anything.
No, your vote is just worth money from the lobby.
And he said it's just backdoor deals to get your vote for passing this bill.
Correct. And if you don't,
you'll get my vote for that bill.
If you don't, then you get no funding for a re-election campaign. You're out. You're a one-term guy.
He said that you have to spend at least a third of your time.
Yeah. So listen, you're on the phone. Yeah, you're on the phone 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday, making calls after a full session in Congress. Yeah, that's it. Absolutely. Yeah.
And so that is true.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they have call centers. So you walk out of Capitol Hill, you walk left to the left call center, right to the right call center,
and your team makes you like, hey, you got to raise this much money.
They give you the list. They give you the call list, and you're just on there calling.
Well, he said like they expect you to make a certain amount of money a day, and
Of
you got to
course.
call until you
Of
get
course.
that money, and
Of
then you
course.
get to go home.
Of course.
That sounds like a miserable life.
It is.
Oh,
It is. For the first few years.
But then that's when you start making money.
You start making money after that. You don't make money as soon as you walk in.
Right.
You know what I mean? But by year 4,
And
you're making money.
he said that's why after a while, politicians become jaded.
Sure.
And they don't want to do as much.
Correct.
Because they feel that they can't make that much of a difference.
That's right. They can't.
That is true.
Yeah, no, they can't. There are only a few
They're
that
very
can make a
limited.
difference.
Yes.
And those are the elite that you're Chuck Schumer's.
Right. Because he's
You're Nancy Pelosi's.
Yeah.
Right. Now it would be your Hakeem Jeffrey.
Yeah, he's a little nuts.
Yeah, he's not a little nuts. What he is he plays the game.
Oh, he plays the game.
He plays the game. Basically, I think he's a middle of the road Democrat who has had to assume the shoes of a liberal socialist because he sees the swing in the party.
Oh.
He sees the writing on the wall. The old school traditional John Fetterman Democrat is gone.
Who's John Fetterman?
That's the representative out of Pennsylvania.
He's gone?
Senator. No. His style of politics is gone.
Oh, okay.
Gone.
He's not gone.
John Fetterman was the guy that was running against Dr. Oz. Don't you remember that?
Yeah.
Then he had a coma after he won, and then he had like a stroke or a coma. He was in a coma, and he popped out of the coma, and all of a sudden now he's more conservative thinking than he is liberal thinking. I thought it was a stroke.
That was a
A
coma.
coma. So, but bottom line, John Fetterman is sort of the. He's on Fox News all the time.
Oh,
Why is he on that? And he's backing a lot of what they say. So that automatically makes him
so he
makes
came
him
to his senses.
makes him a terrorist in the Democratic Party.
Because he
Right. Just like Bill Maher. Bill Maher has been agreeing more and more with conservative views. Bill Maher has become a terrorist. He was a champion of the Democrats. Now he's a terrorist.
Yes.
Because people over time get swayed, and they get swayed to a more sane way of thinking. The party has just gone too radical. It's gone too social.
It's very radical.
It's gone too left. That's why Hakeem Jeffries looks like he's nuts. He's not. He just has to appease that, or else he will get voted out.
Because that's his base.
Well, that's the Democrats are his base,
right,
across the board.
Right,
conservative Democrat, liberal social Democrat.
Right.
So the pendulum is swinging closer to liberal socialist Democrats.
Right.
So that's why he has to back those thoughts. That's he wants to keep his job.
No, he does.
They want to keep their job,
just like wearing the T-shirts for the WNBA coaches.
Right. They got to keep their job.
They got to keep their jobs.
Everyone there in Capitol Hill why do you think they're there for 40 years?
Yeah, they to keep their job.
They want to keep that job because
and
the money keeps rolling in. That's it. And they get chauffeur service, they get flights, they get dinners, they get
Secret Service,
everything.
Protection.
Service. Yeah.
Well, they get protection.
Yeah.
So Tony's, is there going to be a Monday trivia night? Or
yeah, it's coming up. It might be 2 weeks away. We're just setting it up. That's all.
Well, will you still be able to do this Monday night?
Yeah.
Okay. It's been a big hit. And
Thursday night's been really big, and Monday night is coming from another venue. So,
is there still wine tasting?
No, I do actually just do private parties.
You're doing the private parties?
Yeah, I open it up on Thursdays, and we just serve if anyone wants to go in there. You can serve, but I don't. Not to do a regular wine day. It's not worth it.
Yeah. Okay. And is the manager special still
there?
Still valid?
Yep. Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong. Large one-topping pizza, 2 dozen wings, large Italian antipasto,
the garlic knots.
5 garlic knots, and a 2-liter soda. $46, 50 with the tax, 50 total.
50 total. Okay. All right. Well, that sounds good.
Yeah.
So, do you think Trump said that again? This is Iran's last chance. Do you think next week at this time?
No.
There's going to be.
No, I think by the end of the week you're going to see something. With another day or so, they'll split.
And I forgot to mention just the Idaho shooting.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, guys in an In-N-Out that just opened. Why is he shooting? And he's got a rifle. And I don't know why, but I tell you, and I'm sorry for those people.
It blows my mind.
It's horrible. Just trying to get something to eat. Jeez.
It blows my mind.
But
what makes somebody? Well,
the only good thing that came out of this is that we see what a carry permit can do.
That's true.
To save lives.
Yeah.
You can see what
who knows
that gentleman and an off-duty trooper.
Yeah. Who knows?
Pulled their weapons and fired on that kid. They wounded him. I heard that they wounded him.
He's dead.
And then he killed himself.
Oh,
So
he killed himself.
He killed himself. Yeah, that's what most of these cowards do. They
No, I know they do.
They take innocent lives. They don't know these people they're shooting. They're just shooting because they're mentally imbalanced.
Well,
and then once they're cornered, they say, you know what? No, I've had enough. Why don't you just go and blow your brains out?
Just do that
before
instead.
you do that. Don't hurt people. Don't hurt people that are just trying to get a burger in line.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that was really sad.
Yeah.
And make sure you watch the documentary on Netflix about Brian Koberger.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it was the Idaho murders.
No, I don't watch it.
No, it was good. Not good, but the people that got murdered at the University of Idaho.
Yeah, the kids, 3 students.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
You're not going to watch it.
No.
Okay.
No, doesn't interest me.
But the Pan Am thing does.
Pan Am does, because those were my
that was your
college years. I mean, that was my first year of college in '87. The first year of college. So I was, there were
Syracuse.
There was a lot of Syracuse students on that plane, and
you didn't know anyone.
And I did not know anyone. But I remember that vividly because those were my.
But that relates to
those are my teenage years. Yeah, and that was big for us, and that was a big terrorist act. And I remember they finally.
Don't say anything. I haven't finished.
Oh, all right. Okay.
I don't remember that. But that resonates more with you than
the
I
don't care.
Okay. All right. Well, great job.
Yeah.
Voice of Reason.
Yeah.
Steve Colley.
Let's do this again.
Best podcast host in the universe. Remember, when life gives you lemons, they'll make lemonade. Take 2 oranges and please throw them.